Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting Wednesday edition of Staying Up with Pat and Jodi. And Jodi is on her phone again, as usual.
No, I'm not. I am not on my phone as usual. I am not on my phone as usual.
One of these days I'm going to remember to bring a brush before I go on.
Wow, your hair really looks like...
It's just wacky.
Well, that's why I'm wearing a baseball hat
I know. I should get a cap. I should just put a cap on from now on.
I'm wearing a baseball hat because my roots are gray.
Your roots.
So my roots are gray.
Your roots are gray.
I'm as gray as our skunk. Right now,
He's not gray.
I'm getting my
He's
hair.
black and white.
I'm getting my roots done. Everybody, yes, hi, wow, look at everybody on here. Good evening.
Yay.
They just want to see what I'm wearing. That's all they care about. They just want to see what she's wearing today.
What the crazy lady is wearing.
What's the crazy lady wearing? Okay, hi everybody. How you guys doing out there? If you want to interact with us, you got to be on another platform. I do have my phone out so I can see that Chris Guidi's here, Phil Larimore is here, Leslie Rule is here. Hi guys. Hope you guys are being safe and you're okay. But if you want us to see your comments, you need to
Staying Up with Pat and Jodi on Facebook or on Jodi's YouTube channel, which is just Jodi Harris.
That's it. Because when you're Jodi Harris, you only need Jodi Harris.
That's right. Because there's only one Jodi Harris. Actually, there's a lot of them, but
there are a lot. Did you
there's only one Jodi Harris.
Yes.
That's right.
But there is a Jodi Harris that is a public speaker. She goes out on conferences and gives seminars and stuff. And
not anymore.
And I constantly get all her Twitter stuff. Like I get all her Twitter, like, you were great on your seminar. And I'm like,
thank you.
Did I give a seminar? I was here because I also give seminars too. You guys might have saw me on Disc Jockey News TV a week ago. I'm speaking again at another event. I've started a little bit of a side hustle where I'm teaching people how to use social media. If you guys don't know about that, you're struggling with your Instagram, then check it out. I'm doing that. $20. Best Instagram hashtags you guys are ever going to use to get your social media seen. So I'm doing that as well. So I'm doing lots of stuff to keep busy. Not that like I'm not busy, but to keep busy and keep going. But I do want to just be serious for a moment. Oh, the skunk fell. How could you be serious with our socially? By the way, the socially distant skunk. We got him because it's the only way you can keep people 6 feet away from you is if you bring a skunk out, because nobody wants to get sprayed by a skunk.
I'm gonna wear him like this.
You look like Davy Crockett.
Davy
Crockett, king of the wild frontier. That wasn't that in Back to the Future. Remember when Marty McFly goes back? And that was the song.
That's
16 tons and the Davy Crockett. That was the song.
Right.
But put the skunk off your head for a minute because it's time to get serious. We lost a very dear friend this week.
Yes, we did. Long-time friend.
Long-time friend of ours passed away. His name is Ray Martinez. Everybody loves him. They know him as RayMar. I believe he was 65 years old.
65, yeah.
And just had a lot of health issues. A lot of people are saying he died of COVID-19. He
had it, but I don't think that was the underlying cause. It was the other health issues. I think that was because I think he was actually. I could be wrong, but I think he actually had a clean test before.
He did. He had 11 days. He had 11. According to what I heard, it was 11 days. He tested
without COVID,
without any COVID. So when he passed away, it wasn't the COVID that killed him. He had a lot of underlying health conditions, but we love RayMar. Our heart goes out to him and his family and his wife. But we saw RayMar just recently at the photo booth expo.
In February. Yeah.
Always a nice guy. I'm gonna miss him because we shared our love of Spanky.
That's right. The love of Spanky. That's an interesting connection.
Yes, we are Little Rascal fans. And it all started with a drunk night at the Riviera. It started, Pat. So I'll tell the story.
You tell the story because I wasn't even there.
No, you weren't there. I'm going to tell for all the DJs that want to know the story about Spanky. All right, here it goes. Riviera. I don't know how many years ago. I think it was the year Charlene, her first year at Mobile Beat, and we're coming out of the elevator and we saw this really cute guy. He was really cute. And his name is Sparky. His name was Sparky. But of course, me and Charlene had a few drinks. And well, maybe it was more me that had a few. And I never drink, but I did have a few drinks because I was staying at the hotel. He was cute. This Sparky guy was very hot. And we just started talking to him. And everybody said his name was Sparky. But I kept calling him Spanky the whole time. And everybody's like, no, it's Sparky. I'm like, no, it's Spanky. And I said, oh, Spanky, where are you going to be? And Spanky this and Spanky that. Well, long story short, that was just the running joke of the week. Where's Spanky? All week, where's Spanky? And that was it. So every time, like, you know, we were hanging out in the hotel, I'd be like, where's Spanky?
Right there.
And they're all like, it's Sparky. I'm like, who cares? It's Spanky. So that's how the whole Spanky thing, RayMar, and RayMar would send me pictures of Spanky, and there he is on the screen, guys. That is the legendary Spanky McFarland, not to be what am I saying? Not to be confused with the Sparky guy that I thought was hot. So, and many of you guys know Sparky, and right now you're probably telling him, Jodi Harris says you're hot. Go ahead, because he was hot. Back then he was really hot, but you know, he's still hot, but I think he shaved his head, so I don't know how hot he could be. But he's still a nice guy. But that's how the whole Sparky Spanky thing, it was Spanky. That's how it started.
Wow.
Yes.
So on a drunken
night at the Riviera,
hanging out with the girls.
And I said, where's Spanky?
And we love Spanky.
Yeah, love Spanky. Yes, we do love Spanky. So yeah, RayMar, you know, definitely lost a very good friend to everybody, not just to Pat and Jodi, but to all in the wedding industry, wedding and event and DJ world, RayMar. So this one's for RayMar, who, by the way, did watch our show.
Yes, he did.
He did watch our show. So you go back, you might find RayMar episodes. I did post, Pat, earlier this week. I posted a clip from the Regis and Kelly show. Mm-hmm. Thank you, everybody, for reaching out last week. I really appreciate the comments about Regis. It was very, very nice of you. Last week, we did a whole show devoted to Regis Philbin. And as you know, I used to work for him. So I told everybody that I would explain the story about Char.
Okay. So
Char Margolis, if you Google her, is a very famous psychic. The year had to be, what year did I get my blazer?
89.
Okay. So I
wasn't born yet.
No, you weren't. You weren't born yet. I had purchased a brand new Chevy Blazer right off the parking lot, right off of it, red. It was a red 89 Chevy. I talk with my hands. I'm so confused. But a red Chevy 89 Blazer right off the parking lot, brand spanking new. I go to work and I meet Char. And the producer says to me, would you like Char to give you a reading?
Yeah.
So I said, sure. Why not?
Char said this.
Char said that. So I said, yeah, sure. So I go meet Char, and she immediately tells me that you drive a red now, nobody knew about the red Blazer, by the way, and I never met this lady in my life. First time meeting her. She has, you drive a red vehicle, don't you? And I said, yes. And she says, it's going to break down on a long journey. And I just laughed at her and shook my head and said, no. I mean, I just bought this right out of the showroom. How is it going to break on a long journey? All right. Fast forward. I'm in the house at Belmar, because back in the day, that's what you did in the summer. You went to the Hamptons, you went to Belmar. So, Pat, I'm out at Belmar at the house, the summer house. It's Sunday. I'm getting ready to leave to drive back to Yonkers. And guess what happens?
What happens?
The car won't start.
No.
Yes. The car won't start. So we're thinking maybe it's the battery. So all the dudes in the house, you know, the guys come out, they check it. It wasn't the battery. It was the stick with the automatic.
It was not the stick.
What are you doing here?
It was not the stick. It was the shifter.
The shifter locked up. locked up and broke right there. So there you go. My car broke down, brand new car on a long journey. You should really find the Kelly Ripa thing, but because that was really interesting.
And that's Char, the lady on the right or the left? The right?
The blonde.
The blonde.
The right.
So that's Char.
Google her, guys. If you're into the whole psychic thing, Google her. She also told me she named names, initials. My grandfather, she knew about my grandfather passing away. I mean, again, this is a woman I never ever met in my entire life until the day I went for a reading. So here's what happened. Right before I left the show, she was a guest again, and everybody said I should have went to her and had you checked out to see what she would have said about you. Because I got to be honest with you. If she would have said, I see a guy, Patrick, don't, it's not, he's bad news. Don't do it. It's not going to work out. I wouldn't be sitting here today right now. Swear to God, Pat, I wouldn't have. I would have definitely, she was right about the car. And she was right about a lot of other things that I'm not going to talk about here because, I'm not going to talk about it, but she was right about something very private in my life that nobody knew about. And she nailed it on the money.
Nailed it.
So I wasn't about to have her sabotage our relationship.
That's right.
I said, you know what? I don't need this magic.
How do you know she's not the one who sabotaged your car, huh? She sent somebody out there and with a screwdriver.
She didn't know I was in Belmar.
Oh,
she
come on. She just listened.
She said a long journey.
She listened in.
Kathy Rotundo on here? Oh, I thought Kathy Rotundo was on here.
She was
if
listening
Kathy Rotundo is on here, she'll know exactly who Char is. You're bringing Char out again? Is this the episode? Because Char well, you don't have to play, but no, this is not the episode. Char predicted Kelly Ripa being pregnant before anybody knew that Kelly Ripa was pregnant. But this isn't it because Kelly Ripa is blonde here.
Yeah.
Unless they show the clip. But yeah. So anyway, what do you guys think about these psychic things? Are you guys into it? Pat, what do you think? What's your feeling on the whole
I don't believe any of it.
Don't let Mystic Mona hear you say that.
No, I don't believe any of it. And look, for entertainment value, and if you believe it, great, good for you. I don't believe any.
David Weinstein is watching.
And I have friends that believe it and are all into that. I don't buy it.
David Weinstein is watching, and he says he loves the hat. Damn right, David. David Weinstein, love you. That is the episode right there of Kelly Ripa getting told that she was pregnant when she told nobody, and only her husband and her knew because they didn't want to announce it yet because, when you get pregnant, you wait so many weeks for everything to be cool. And that is the episode right there.
This is the one where she's
that was the one where she's told. And look at her. I mean, look, she's like all flabbergasted and like, yeah, because she was pregnant.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really awesome. That whole thing is it's really a cool story.
I know you've told me this for years, and look, great. There's a lot of things in life that are coincidences. Some things are just intuition. Some things, I think most of them are very intuitive. Our favorite, two of our favorite entertainers here in Las Vegas, that used to play at the Rio. I think they're still at the Rio.
Oh,
Penn and Teller.
Penn and Teller
actually used to do a whole show where they debunked the whole idea of psychics, and they showed how it worked.
But I'm going to be totally transparent here, Pat. Okay. Swear to God, I was fairly new to the live.
Everybody has the same stories, though. There's no way she could have known. There's no way. This
was before internet. There was no way this lady Char knew that I drove a red car.
There's lots of ways.
She talked about an ex-boyfriend that nobody in the office knew I even had.
Wow.
And she knew his name. How would she know that? I never met her. I swear to God, I never met her. There's nothing online. What?
That's good. That's how, whatever you want to believe.
I totally believe it.
Whatever.
Good. Please.
Good for you.
What do you mean good for me?
Good for you.
I didn't even know you at the time.
That's right. You didn't know me at the time. But see, had she said something, you probably would have thrown it all away for no good reason.
I would have thrown it away.
Yeah.
I would. I'm telling you honestly, as God is my witness, as Scarlett O'Hara would say, as God is my witness, I would have.
Yeah.
Absolutely. To the people that are watching right now, I would not be sitting here with Pat today had I listened to her.
That's right.
Had she said something about you that was negative,
I'd have been kicked to the curb.
You would have been sitting. This would have been a different show.
This would have been Staying Up with Pat.
Or this would have been, Joe and Jodi.
Hey, Joe, how you doing?
My father always wanted to do a talk show,
right.
So this would have been the Joe and Jodi show.
That's right. He wouldn't have pissed anybody off.
Oh, not now. Hell, it would. Oh my God! Thank God he's
not be on the
Thank
air.
God he's dead. I mean, I don't mean it that way, but he would have not. My dad, no, he would have not done well with this.
He's not politically correct by any stretch of the term. He's just old school Italian, New York Italian. They were everything.
Please don't offend our audience, Pat. All our audience are old school New York Italians.
Man, but then if they are, they know. Think of your parents. Yeah. Okay. I'll just
or Jews,
it that way.
or Jewish people, or Jewish people. New York Jewish people. They're that's why the Jewish people and the Italians got along great. Because we were exactly the same.
I can say the only difference between somebody who's from New York who's Jewish or who's just is Italian is the day that they go to church and what they.
Absolutely,
because of very close similarities, family structure wise.
Honest. They tell you like it is.
Tell you like it is. No BS.
Yeah.
They don't care about your feelings. This is how it is. What the hell are you doing wearing that shirt?
What's that hat on your head?
What are you trying to do with that hat? Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of similarities.
And speaking of that, my friend Fran from high school happens to be watching right now, and
Fran would know.
Fran would know. She would, when it comes to old school Italians and the way they are. Matter of fact, today she actually posted something on her Facebook, and she'll probably jump in here and say something. But she posted on her Facebook today about learning a class in high school that doesn't have anything to do with what you're doing now. Like for example, algebra. Did you
algebra?
Algebra. This ain't no place for you, little rascals. But
that was before we were born, by the way, just so you know. Yeah, but we still watch it to this day.
Yeah, because it's on. Is it on Tubi?
Tubi.
Is it Tubi?
Yeah,
Tubi
you can binge watch all day Little Rascals episodes.
So Fran talked about a subject that you learned in high school that you're not using today. What would that be?
Oh, certainly like the advanced math classes, because we just need our phones to be able to figure all that stuff out now. Although if you're an engineer, you're certainly using it. But other than that,
they all use calculators.
But they still have to know how the math works.
What subject in school? Okay, we're going to go with Fran's going to produce today. Fran's executive producer. I
will tell you that my major, I was in a magnet program in high school, and I'm using none of what I learned in my magnet school. Because I was a marine science magnet, I was in a marine science magnet school, and none of the stuff that I learned I'm actually using. It's just like interesting information. That's it.
But wait a minute. If you would have pursued your career as a marine scientist, then that would have been helpful.
It would have been 100% relevant. But since I didn't, it was 0% relevant.
So
I know that a whale is not a fish.
Geometry does not configure in my world. Algebra. What about history?
Yeah, I think history is history is important for everybody, because that helps in your daily decision making process. Because I think we see a lot of situations now with a lot of the kids that never learned history properly that are, let's just say, making really bad decisions because they didn't. They still don't know what actually happened in the past. So they're just making stupid decisions and going off what they read on the internet. So yeah, history I think is very critical. I think it's just important for your understanding of how things work and what happened in the past. And yeah, history is important.
And what about, would you say, like music? Did you have a music class?
I did have a music class, and
music is big for us now.
It's big for us, but I don't play an instrument, and I learned how to read and sheet music and all that, and I couldn't tell you how it works anymore because that was junior high school.
If you guys want to participate in the show, you gotta get into StreamYard. You gotta get into the StreamYard because we cannot see your comments.
Facebook, Staying Up with Pat and Jodi's Facebook page is where you can comment, and we'll see it and we can comment back, as well as your YouTube channel, which is live as well right now.
Yeah, because people are saying hi and stuff like that, and I can't. If I have my phone down here, so that's kind of why I'm doing it.
Did you start a watch party?
I did.
Okay, yeah, that's why.
Because if I don't start a watch party, no one's going to know we're on, because they don't, unless they don't.
Do it like we did the other day.
What?
Just do the watch party later, and then you can just sit there and comment.
Right. That's the only way to do it.
There you go.
Duh.
Good for you, sport.
Good for you, sport. So what do you think, Pat, about this whole TikTok thing?
You know,
Do you
TikTok.
have an opinion?
I do, and it's probably long overdue. What's happening? It's that they've been data mining everybody's information since the beginning. It's a super popular app. There's been warnings for months and months and months that it's a dangerous app to have on your phone and that you should delete it completely. You're basically taking all of your contact information. You're taking all of your activities, preferences, all of your personal information, and handing it to the Chinese Communist government.
Why would the Chinese want my phone?
Because they want to sell us stuff.
I'm nothing.
They want to know. They want to know everything. But that's you. There's millions and millions of people on there.
Well,
so if they have information for millions and millions of people, they know what. And it's basically just spying on everything you do and figuring out how to take advantage of that. Which could be something as simple as targeted ads, which a lot of them do anyway, but they've been getting in trouble for. A lot of the social media sites have been getting in trouble for taking too much of your information, but figuring out how to sell stuff to you.
Absolutely.
And also being able to send scams to you. Don't think that they're not sending some of these. Do you think all these phishing scams and all of these robocalls are coming from the U.S.? And there's a lot of Chinese-based companies or scammers that are coming out of there trying to steal your money.
Well, you know what's funny? When I do answer a robocall, they're not Chinese though.
They come from
Arabic,
all over the world.
They're like Arabic or they're like Israeli.
What about the call that we get all the time with that they leave the recording?
Yeah, tell them about that one.
I've gotten at least 3 times, and one time we got it on all of our phones within minutes of each other. I'm talking about our cell phones and our business phone. It just literally dials every number in the phone book, and it leaves a message, and I think it's Mandarin. I'm not sure, and I have no idea what it says, but it's obviously targeted towards Asians as far as at least China. I would assume Chinese, but I can't understand the language, so I couldn't tell you if it was Chinese or Korean or whatever it was, but I'm assuming it's Chinese.
I just understand. I don't.
Mandarin.
Okay, now you kind of make sense that they want to like control our minds or whatever. If you guys got an opinion, I want to hear it. You got to go on Stand Up with Pat and Jodi on Facebook. A lot of you Facebook people are out there. You got to do that. But we're nobodies. I mean, we're nobodies.
You're
Why
saying
would
we're
somebody?
nobody, Jodi.
I am. I'm a nobody. I am a nobody.
Millions of nobodies equals to somebody. You're underestimating how they use it. They're not going after one person. They're going after billions of people. Information from billions of people can be used to their advantage. And it can be used to try and sell you stuff. It can be used to try and steal your stuff. It could be used for anything.
Wow. Well, you know who knows all about this is Tom. Tom as a Kappa, because he is, that's what he specializes in all this computer.
And he'll tell you the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, him TikTok. He doesn't even want a cam on. He doesn't even want a Facebook on his phone. He's he definitely doesn't want that. But I have good news, everybody.
Good news.
Good news. You can replace TikTok today. I just saw it with Instagram Reels. REELZ. It officially launched today.
Yep.
It is on my phone. Now, I don't know if I've gotten this because, it's a beta version of it. But
George Lopez sent you.
Oh, hey. Hi.
A text message.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Thank you. Hi, George. I hope George is watching. He knows I'm on the thing. But anyway, Instagram Reels is going to be the new TikTok for people. So TikTok is going to, just like it did with Snapchat. Snapchat went down, and then Instagram stories came.
They're trying to take over the world too. So
we've got Reels. So that's pretty exciting. Yeah. So I'm going to experiment with Reels a little bit later on today.
And by the way, TikTok, literally, they were going to ban TikTok in the U.S., and now there's Microsoft. If you haven't read, I think everybody's heard it by now, but Microsoft is trying to buy TikTok, and they're giving them a 45-day respite period or whatever, just to sort of figure out if they can make the sale work. So if they can sell the U.S. interest in TikTok, it will all go to Microsoft. They'll purchase it. Microsoft would own it and go onto Microsoft servers.
So buy your stock now. You should have bought stock. We should have all bought stock in Zoom, and now Microsoft.
Oh, yeah. Well, Microsoft has been kicking butt for a long time, but all the tech stuff is going up because we can't see each other in person, so we have to do it all online like we're doing now. We can't sit down and and see everybody like we used to. And for those of us who are in a business or any kind of industry, man, the conferences are going to be a little while before we see each other at a conference again.
Yeah, definitely.
Today
we just found out that Wedding MBA is going to be going virtual.
SEMA is going virtual, which is not going to work, but people say there's interest in it, but it's going to fall on its face because people go to SEMA to see the toys. Plain and simple. That's the biggest automotive aftermarket. And Apex, which has to do with the OEMs, which is like Ford and all those people that they take over the Las Vegas Convention Center, Sands, everything, and a bunch of other places. It's huge. It's one of the biggest conferences in the U.S. I don't know how you do that virtually with any success. And you can show pictures and videos, and as somebody who does video production for a living, I still don't know how you're going to do it and get the idea across the way you could with an in-person conference.
You know what I'm still seeing though, and people talk about making the switch to virtual. I am still seeing a lot of people using Zoom as their virtual platform for these virtual conferences, when I thought that all these production companies were going to be the ones that are doing them.
Well,
is it too soon? Is that what it is? Why?
Because the only things you're seeing are the Zoom meetings. The ones that you're not seeing are the ones that are industry specific, that you have to pay to go to a virtual conference. Like if they have a conference that you have to pay to go to that's virtual, you're going to see it on a different platform other than Zoom. You're going to see it on these platforms that allow you to go into different rooms, that allow all the flexibility. But why would you pay for another platform if all you need to do is a Zoom meeting? So there doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So it really has to do with application. When you get into the paid conferences, those are going to, and they may use the Zoom backbone, but there's going to be some other interface that actually takes them there and that controls multiple rooms and things like that.
Got it. Interesting. Well, I feel bad for, our friends that are in the event world, that work conferences, like our friend Roman Gomez,
Yeah, he sets up at the convention center and he may not see anything until next year.
And he knows he doesn't have CES.
Yeah, CES is gone. And the problem with CES is that even if that would be okay for them to do it in January, they have to plan something of that size so far now out in advance that, they literally can't wait, 2 months before to make a final decision. They have to be 6-8 months out and make a final decision. And
that's why they made the decision now, because there could be some sort of vaccine.
Because everything would have to be in place right now. In order to do it for them to make a decision. Well, they can't wait for what might happen and what might be in place. They have to know.
You know what? And people don't understand that. Like when I worked at the live show, people used to say to me at 10 o'clock, right? Because we were on 9 to 10. People would say to me at 10 o'clock, well, I guess you get to go home now. Like, dude, who plans the show? Those were the longest working hours ever in my life.
Oh, yeah.
Ever. He'll tell you. I would drive home at 8 o'clock at night, like pass out with my clothes on. It was the longest day.
I used to wake her up because obviously when I lived in California and she lived in New York, there was a 3-hour difference. So I would call her at 8 o'clock my time, or not 8 o'clock, 3 or 2 o'clock my time, which was 5 o'clock her time.
Yeah,
I'm backwards on that. To wake her up, and she'd be laying on her bed in her clothes from the night before. She hadn't even taken her shoes off.
People just think that these shows magically happen. They don't. Something like a CES, like Pat said, is planned out years in advance. Have we heard anything? I heard today that the Radio City Rockettes, the Christmas show, this is the first year they're not having it.
Yeah.
They're not having the Radio City Rockettes, so there'll be no Christmas show at Rockefeller Center. Now, I haven't heard, and maybe you guys know, Thanksgiving Day Parade, Macy's. Haven't heard. Have you?
No, have not heard anything yet.
No.
The Rose Parade was canceled though, I believe.
Yeah, that was
which is January.
Right. Well, think about the Rose Parade, though. They've got to build the floats.
Oh, yeah, that's a major undertaking. Yeah.
They're ordering parts. They're ordering parts right now for that event, to produce it.
And California is the most populous state in the union. and it's in the middle of a highly populated area, and they just don't know. They don't know where they're going to be in January. It's especially if they spend all that money and cancel it, all those people are out that money.
Yeah.
So that's millions and millions of dollars
flowers
gone.
And it's crazy. Now the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is a little different because they fly in schools and bands and things like that.
Yeah.
So, but still, they're going to have to make a decision on that real soon. They're going to have to pull the trigger on that real soon.
Absolutely.
And it is an outdoor event. And I think people in New York are pretty smart, but they will be in groups. So I don't know. It's just a weird world we live in. But just like us with our work, right? Our special event world, people think that when you have a wedding that starts at 6 and ends at 10, that, we don't do anything during the week. We just show up at your events, and rock it from 6 to 10. They don't know all the production that's done behind the scenes.
There's more hours of work that go into an event before you get to the event than the day of the event.
So it's the same thing.
By far. Just like with videos, it's like I can go out and film for a 6-hour event and wind up with 50 hours of post-production time. And that doesn't count all the preparation before that. So a lot of things that you see, you don't realize how many hours of work go into making them happen.
That's why they're making these, these decisions now, because people will be like, well, it's 7 months away and they're pulling the plug. Well, yeah, because of all
they have to make decisions way in advance. And there's a lot of companies that just don't know what they're going to do. And if they can commit to these big giant displays and what they're going to, and if they can even ship all this stuff, they have to plan for the stuff now. NAB 2021, they're planning for right now.
Sure.
And that's in April of next year. So
hopefully that will happen.
I would have to assume by then that, because that'll be a year and a half after really the first cases happened.
Right.
And
imagine, I want to know who gets that first conference coming back, and how epic will
big conference.
I know what I'm waiting for. I want to pimp myself out for New Year's Eve. I mean, not pimp, but you know what I'm saying? Like, who's not gonna want to throw a big badass fuck you New Year's Eve 2020. I'm gonna piss in your oatmeal, I'm gonna piss in your cornflakes party.
It's right.
Like
Good riddance 2020.
Everybody's whipping their cock out on that one.
That's right.
I'm sorry. I don't even have a cock and I'm whipping it out.
The term for 2021 is going to be don't even think about it, okay? Don't even think about doing that shit that 2020 did, okay?
Oh my God.
Don't even think about it.
What's
what I'm saying?
I love the post. We
just changed our rating for the show from PG-13 to R. You
because I
realize
said
that?
Cock.
Yeah.
Hey, cockle doodle doo.
Any cockle do.
Pussy
Willow.
But or blank cat.
Yeah.
Blank cat.
That wasn't blank cat.
No, it was blank willow.
Yeah, Pussy Willow.
It was blank willow.
Blank a doodle doo. That's right.
That was the other one.
Yes.
And then they, we're referencing the old Howard Stern movie, Private Parts, if you haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it? Yes, there's the whole segment.
But I was about to say something.
I don't even know what you're about. Oh, New Year's parties.
Yeah, New Year's Eve party, but I had something else really important, but obviously it's not that important because I can't remember what the hell it is.
What the hell? We're just going to pimp out for New Year's Eve this year.
I think everybody needs to just...
let's hope they figure it out.
I just want every man in America to whip it out and just piss on the ground.
Piss on you, 2020.
I want you to take that 2020, go out there now, find something that has the word 2020 on it, whether it's a calendar, a friggin' birthday cake candle, whatever it is. I want you on New Year's Eve to put that on the ground, whip out your cock, and pee all over it.
To put it bluntly.
There you go.
It's either that or very safely light it on fire, okay? Don't burn your house down.
Piss on it.
Light it on fire and then piss on it. That's what I'm saying. There's an extra step here.
Our viewers have just gone up. Or the holy rollers are like, she's crazy.
Escape, get me out of here.
Shit crazy. Did she just tell me to whip my cock out? Yes. And I don't even have one. Damn it. What a show, folks. What a show.
Oh, boy, it got dirty real fast.
I'm telling Johnny wouldn't put up with this on the couch.
No way. Johnny would be like, what?
What? Johnny would be like, they're out of here.
They're out of here.
But I'm telling you, our big break is coming. You know what? Char thought she was a psychic. I can feel it, Pat.
You're feeling your psychic.
Our big break is coming.
For 2021.
2021, or even on New Year's, we are going to host New Year's Rockin' Eve.
That's right. Our own New Year's Rockin' Eve.
Not our own. The network is going to pick us up for New Year's Rockin' Eve.
Yeah.
And we're all going to tell America to whip out their cock.
Whip it out, folks.
And pee all over 2020.
And you know what we're going to do? We're going to sell 2020 signs that are meant to be pissed on. And when you pee on them, they change to 2021.
Oh, I like that. My God. We just gave people ideas.
Yeah. I just got to figure out how to make that work. But, let's make it so it changes and it dissolves in 2021.
That is a great idea. Okay. Right? That's a great idea.
Wow.
This could be our big moment. We can make millions.
Millions and millions.
And speaking of millions, The Rock just bought the XFL.
He did. The Rock bought the XFL, him and some partners. So a little bit of baller storyline actually coming to pass. He was supposed to be in the, if you ever watched the show Baller. I haven't
watched it yet, but I will. You're telling me I need to watch it.
You need to watch it. Yeah, you'll like it. It's a little bit of a guy show, but it's got some good storylines. And
The Rock's in it.
The Rock.
You smell what The Rock is cooking.
Yeah. It's been on for a while now. The show's been doing great.
Yeah, is it still on though?
It's still on, as far as I know.
Wow, so how does The Rock have all this time?
I don't know, because he does everything. He does game shows, he does movies, he does his baller show, he does personal, and he's working
like
out
Bellas.
2 hours a day. Yeah, he's like nonstop from 4 a.m. till he goes to sleep every day.
He's like the Bellas.
Yeah,
the Bellas just reached like 8 million people on Instagram, not Instagram, on YouTube or something, and they just had their babies a day apart.
I know, isn't that crazy? Twins having their babies a day apart.
And I had it wrong.
Talk about a connection.
I had the bet wrong. I said it was going to be Bree first.
It was going to Bree.
No, wait. I said it was going to be Nikki first. Wait, did I? Wait, who? No, I said it was Bree first. Wait, Bree first.
Yeah.
Nikki second. It was Nikki first, then Bree. I don't know.
Anyway,
I had it wrong. I had it wrong.
That doesn't even matter. Within that 24-hour period.
Doesn't it seem like yesterday when I actually met the Bellas?
Yeah, and that was CES.
Yeah, and that's not happening this year.
No, you can't meet them this year unless they decide during the week of CES to do some smaller things in town, because other organizations could come in town and do some. Because remember, the organization that did that came as part. The
Quotient.
The Quotient. They could come on and do their own show. They could come in and do their own little mini conference if they wanted to.
The whole thing about the Female Quotient was that they were doing and walking. But yeah, Shelly could do her own show.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, I will pitch
these smaller shows could get together and instead of CES, a bunch of them that, hey, look, these are smaller shows with 250 or 500 people, whatever. You come in when you normally would have for CES, and boom, you got yourself a show.
Yep. No. And today, Pat,
Vegas would love that, by the way.
Yeah, they would absolutely. And you might see that, we're looking at the sequel weddings and things like that. But today I actually got a shout out. I'm super excited.
Yay!
I actually got a shout out from Shelly from the Female Quotient and Stephanie McMahon, my future employer.
Yay!
So exciting.
Yay!
Yes, Stephanie.
We love you, Stephanie.
When Shelly said, "Hey, Jodi, I hope everything's okay. How you doing?" I said, "Great." And Stephanie went, "Good." And I was like, "Yes." It's the little things that make me happy.
Little things in life, folks.
Seriously, I should be a 13-year-old girl.
You actually are still mentally a 13-year-old.
I think I am.
You still.
I think I have more fun now, though, than I did when I was a 13-year-old.
Yeah, because I
could do things.
Yeah, your parents were strict with you.
Like my parents would have never allowed me to get. Where was it? Oh, the tattoo. I didn't get the tattoo. They would never let me get the tattoo. My mother still hasn't seen the tattoo.
No,
she knows I have it, but she hasn't seen it yet. So
she hasn't seen it, but at least it's just a nice that says "believe." It's not like
and then the next
not like a flaming skull or something,
or
like that.
piss on 2020.
Piss on 2020.
Like a guy whipping out his cock and saying "piss on 2020."
There's probably going to be some tattoos of that if there aren't already.
Oh, who would want 2020 on their friggin' arm
with a guy peeing on it? Like the little guy that you put in your back mirror that piss on, and you could be anything. They're going to have those.
There's another idea.
Someone's
gonna steal it. Thanks a lot. Oh, God.
I'm giving away all the ideas. Stop it.
That's the next window decal. That little kid that pisses, and then
2020.
underneath it says 2020. Guys, there you go. Somebody is going to make millions off of
And
that.
millions of dollars.
Wow, Pat, you're just giving away great ideas here tonight, and we're not going to capitalize on one of them.
Nothing. Nothing.
We'll be pimping ourselves out on New Year's Eve.
That's right.
Oh my God! Well, we don't need to.
I'll be wearing a tutu downtown.
We'll work.
Taking $10 a picture.
That's next. Pivot.
Pivot. That's right.
Pivot, everybody. I don't know. This has been a crazy show. I mean,
Yes.
Tonight's show, you got to. If you're just joining us,
you got to watch the
later,
replay. That's right.
It doesn't get any better than this, folks.
I think it's nuts.
It's crazy. It's crazy with a K.
That's a K.
With a K. And it's fantastic with a PH.
Woo! With a PH.
With a PH.
Fantastic. Yes.
Right.
PHUN.
PHUN.
You got it.
I think I said enough to get us in trouble.
Yes. Well, we're in lots of trouble already, but that's okay.
But yeah.
So I think we're good. I think we're good for this.
Are you guys done? We're done. Whew. All right, so we'll be back next week.
I'm exhausted.
Pissing on 2020. Matter of fact, I got to go to the bathroom right now.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
No, I don't. But anyway, thank you guys so much. If you checked in just because you're curious to see what we look like, some people I haven't seen in years, they're probably on here going, "That's Jodi in 2020. She looks pretty good. But what's up with the fucking hat?"
That's right.
And what's up with that her husband's hair tonight?
I know it's terrible.
Do you need a haircut again?
I do need a haircut.
You just got a haircut.
No, it was like almost a
was
month
it a
ago
month
now.
ago?
Yeah.
Well, then you should get a haircut. We got a gig this weekend.
I know. I got to get a haircut.
You got a gig on Friday, so
I got to get a
should
haircut.
go Friday. You better call them up and get that haircut.
Cool.
Dude.
I'm gonna call and get a haircut.
What did I say? Cool.
Cool. No, I said cool.
Oh well, you better call and get a haircut.
Call and get a haircut.
All right, everybody.
Haircut.
If you want to see more of Staying Up with Pat and Jodi,
Staying Up with Pat and Jodi.
Rewind this show.
Rewind, replay.
It's a classic. It's going to be one of the best of Pat and Jodi shows of 2020.
Rants and rants and rants and rants.
And fun stuff and just whipping out your dick and peeing on things.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Dirty.
All right, everybody.
Rated R.
We will see you next week. Yeah. We love you. Stay safe. And we'll see you. Hope to see you here next week.
Bye.
Bye.